Well, state lawmakers are moving ahead with legislation to charge Iowans with felonies for knowingly concealing an individual living in the country illegally from law enforcement. Our Connor O'Neill tells us why the House's bill has bipartisan support as it heads to the Senate.
The Iowa House for the second straight year passed a bill that would make human smuggling a crime.
What I can tell you is I think we've been very clear when it comes to issues of human trafficking, smuggling, immigration, things like that. The House has a willingness to do that.
Someone would be issued a felony for intentionally transporting an individual living in the country illegally to conceal them from police.
My concern when I look at bills like this is to what extent should this be solely federal purview, and to what extent should it be the purview of the state?
14 House Democrats voted against the legislation Thursday and said it could cause issues for organizations providing aid to certain communities.
Just unintended consequences, right? People who were worried about, religious organizations who are having a hard time, who are just trying to help out their neighbor. What are the implications there?
But nearly 24 House Democrats voted in favor and said it's obvious we need immigration reform and this bill would solve a piece of it. The bill says if the smuggled individual is sexually abused or suffers severe bodily injury, that felony would be the most extreme charge, punishable by life in prison without parole.
There is nothing moral about human trafficking, sex trafficking, or labor trafficking made possible by the smuggling and concealment of vulnerable people who, because of their status, fear they have no way out.
All but 2 House Republicans voted in favor of the bill. Reporting from the State House, Connor O'Neill, Local 5 News.
Well, the House passed a similar bill last year with less support from Democrats, but that legislation ultimately died in the Senate.